Has this ever happened to you? Can I get a name from that order?
Steven?
Was that with a V?
No, with a P.
Oh, that was a
No,
V?
a P.
You may be entitled to some compensation. Luckily for you, a brand new invention from 1956, according to a cursory look at Wikipedia, straight from the eggheads at NATO and ICAO, have got you covered. The phonetic alphabet. Yes, that's right. Gone are the days where D and B are mixed up. Just say Delta and Bravo. Nobody could ever mix those words up. Or can they? Are these 26 words Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, Foxtrot, Golf, Hotel, India, Juliet, Kilo, Lima, Mike, November, Oscar, Papa, Quebec, Romeo, Sierra, Tango, Uniform, Victor, Whiskey, X-Ray, Yankee, Zulu, and again all at once? Can we do better? Kitty, stop scratching the... So we want 26 words for each letter of the English alphabet, and we're going to stick with English because I don't know about you, but I don't own a Chinese keyboard. Through divine coincidence, a phonetic alphabet relies on phonetics, which the nerds at the Oxford Dictionary say is the study and classification of speech sounds. Basically, each word is composed of phonemes. These are the smallest blocks of sound that you can make with your mouth. So let's say you've got coffee. You've got the C for the K, ah, for the off, then you got the F, the F, and then you got the E. So bada bing, bada boom, you get yourself a steaming hot cup of coffee. So as it turns out, another group of loser nerds created this thing into what's called the IPA. And no, it's not because they just happen to also be alcoholics. It's because it stands for the International Phonetic Alphabet. Wow! You know those squiggly sons of bitches you see next to names of Polish towns on Wikipedia? That's what those are. That's where they come from. Cool. The vowels are easy enough. It's just basically a diagram of your mouth. You could do it with me right now, see? A, ow, a, e, o, oo. The other half, the consonants, are a little bit trickier, but they're essentially derived from the same method. B, d, v, g, k, l, m, ing, st, w, y, z. And so because each phoneme is categorized by these certain properties, we can quantize those properties into coordinates. We'll assign each of these properties a value of 0 to 1, put them all together, and voila! And now we can do some basic math stuff to find the distance, quote-unquote, between each of the phonemes. There you go. Thanks to Google and the cool kids over at the Summer of Math Explanations Discord, I found the Carnegie Mellon University, or CMU, Pronunciation Dictionary, a list of over 120,000 words, each with their associated phonemes. So let's load the sucker up, slap it about of the keyboard, and... Alright, so it turns out we got a lot of words that we don't give no guff about, so let's goof them out and get a gander at the good ones. Let's limit ourselves to words with 2 or 3 syllables. The word itself has to evoke the meaning of the letter it represents. So that means it can't have any silent letters like P for pharmacy, T for thrifty, K for night, E for eunuch. Those don't really work. They don't evoke the letter. CH can stay for Charlie in the NATO alphabet. Plus it gives us a way to differentiate between C and K a little bit better. W and H are also things we gotta consider, like W has where and whole, and H has here and our. So for certain letters, we'll have to remove words that start with certain phoneme combinations. All right, nextly, we should probably just keep the root words, right? So we just have order, no orders, or ordering, or orderings, or ordered, or ordered, or oral, just the root thing. No pluralizations, no extra things at the end, just the root words. So with these and a few other minor rules during the scoring that I'll list on the video somewhere, we'll have chopped out over 100,000 words, and now we got 20,000 to work with. We'll head back to our script, we'll slap the keyboard a couple more times, and hold up. Don't let the video essay format fool you into thinking I know what I'm doing. Have I truly figured out how to measure the differences between 2 phonemes, let alone words? If only I had a way to create audio waveforms of each phoneme specifically in a digital format so as to analyze them against each other to produce quantifiable data that measures auditory distance between them. So if you recall earlier in the video, I used some clever editing techniques to showcase the sounds of all the different phonemes. Utilizing my very own home professional audio recording booth fitted with the latest soundproofing technologies and up-to-date recording techniques in microphone tech, i.e. my closet, I recorded myself performing each and every phoneme as best I could and algorithmically compared each waveform against every other one. Shout out to Daniel, who I found on the Summer of Math Explanations Discord. He used the Connier Python library that simulates how the audio waveforms react to your cochlea. Ooh. We've calculated the auditory distances between each possible pair of phonemes that can occur. So let's punch the keyboard one last time, and there it is. The best phonetic alphabet. Let's take a moment, let's savor each of these words. Assumption. Boondoggle. Cadet. Driftwood. Enrollment. Fatalist. Glycoside. Heavy. Ewo. Jailhouse. Callus. What the heck? Lantern. Marshall. Nebulous. Omega. Pregnancy. Queensland. Synchronic. Tartar. Underpay. Voyage. Workload. Xenon. Yellowist. Zimbabwe. The best phonetic alphabet that I can reasonably find in my lifetime. So it turns out finding the max weight 26 click within a 26 part tight complete graph with about 20,000 plus nodes is not that easy. Translating what I just said to English, we have 20,000 words, or nodes, that form a complete graph, meaning every node is connected to every other node with an edge weight representing how different they are from each other. So each node is categorized into one of 26 groups, the letters of the alphabet, and we want to find the specific group, the click in this case, with the max weight. The 26 nodes, one from each of these groups, whose edges add up to the biggest sum out of all the possible other groups. So there are about 200 million connections just from the 20,000 words that we have. That leaves us with a possible that number of phonetic alphabets to check, which is around 10 to the 70. Okay, so I've been working on this project long enough. I'm sweating in this booth already. So I think we need to take some drastic measures. How about we take all of these words, we calculate their average score between all the other words. That'll take a little while, but it's doable. Then we can pick the best average word from each letter, and there we go. We get this phonetic alphabet. The best phonetic alphabet on average. And there you go. There's a lot of things we could do to further reduce the possibility space. We could remove all words that are below the average score that every word has, so that halves the dictionary. Maybe make sure that certain words are just not paired with each other. The weakest comparisons, we just don't even bother checking for the candidates. Calculate the phonemes better. We could take into account dialect and accent and intonation. But for now, I think I'm pretty okay with the results that I found with all of the things. With just 5 easy payments of $0.00, you too can find your very own phonetic alphabet and grade it against however many other phonetic alphabets have been generated. All the code that I wrote for this project can be found on the GitHub. I'll link it in the description. Probably a lot of things that I could have coded better. If you're interested in improving on the code or building off of it, maybe you look at the code and you're like, oh, obviously you should have done it this way. You should have used this Python library that automatically does everything for you, that made this whole project pointless because someone else already did it. Feel free to do that. I am sweating a lot in this Closet. Thanks for watching the video. I think I'm good.